Good evening. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this evening. It's Wednesday night, and I think we've all came to terms with the fact that we're going to be in the Europa. And let's get rid of the team for last night. And what's our ambition for the year? What is our ambition for the season now that we have came to terms with the fact that we're not at the big table this year? So what will be seen as success by you, the fans? Success this season. Will it be win the league and a run in the Europa? Will it be a double or will it be a treble? I think personally that we need to win the league and we have to have a fantastic run in the Europa. Because there's a certain team within Glasgow, and you can call them Sevco, you can call them Huns, you can call them whatever you want, but they've had a little bit of success in Europa. And if we don't go through the league phase, if we don't get through to the knockout phases of Europa, it will be even worse than falling out the Champions League. Because this is the level playing field this year now. This is it. This is what we've been dreading. This is us on a level playing field with them. They're spending money, or we are spending money. They're spending a bit more money than us at the moment when it comes to transfer claims. The one that Celtic have made a bid, a low offer for Sebastian. Opening bid of 2 million was rejected. Even after last night, going in low balling with offers for players is just such a Celtic thing to do, isn't it? And I think that we've lost out to a lot of players this year because we've went in low balling and teams have just went, fuck, I'm not dealing with you. It's as simple as that. But the good news is, fantastic news, the best news that any Celtic fan can hope for after last night. Birmingham City have made an approach for Celtic winger Yang. Yes, there's someone out there that thinks there's a player in Yang, but it would just be the thing that we meet them in Europe or something. Anyway, Birmingham City are keen to sign the 23-year-old on a permanent deal, and the clubs remain in talks. Tell me your thoughts on that in the live. Let me get the chat bit up. Where's the chat? There's the chat comments there. Let's get the chat up on the screen. Let's see what's on there. The day after is actually worse. You start to realise what happened last night. Nah, not at all. Low ball on Celtic, biscuit tin mentality. Yep, it is. But let's be honest, they get 2 goals tonight and they're right back in the Champions League. Mate, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm not even going to look at their score lines tonight. I think that, we've got bigger and better things that we need to be worrying about. And if they do turn that around tonight, I've said before, they're only 1-2 seasons in the Champions League and its financial tables are turned. But I'm not even wanting to think about that because when it comes to this year, I think that we'll both be in Europa. They're not turning around that scoreline. Not a chance. We're offering a Fredo bar in the Quincy Cup. Who wants to come to Celtic now that we're out of the Champions League, Baz? Quite a lot of players. I don't think that it was a prerequisite of anyone that we were signing. And you've seen some Celtic signs saying that we've lost out to Stings because we weren't in the Champions League. That he was already in. Where is it? He's going to Italy. He was already in Italy yesterday before the Celtic game even took part and took place. So sell home to Birmingham. Odom Ohms in America. Odom Ohms in America till the end of this, until December. When did they see in Yang bite their hand off? Yeah. Nicholson will want 10 million. I tell you one thing. If they offer 2 million, just let them go. Let them go. Just get rid of them. I never want to see him in a Celtic shirt again. And if it'll be the end for Rodgers. I said that in a WhatsApp group chat today. I said that if the unthinkable happens, surely the board will think about moving Brendan on. But then again, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. I still think that Brendan will see out this season, and I think the Celtic board are that stubborn. The Celtic board are that stubborn. It needs to be a disaster, and you could say that coming out of the Champions League disaster, losing the first Glasgow derby, that's not disaster stuff. We've had a good start to the league. We've had a terrible run in Champions League qualifiers, and Brendan just doesn't get it. For me, when Brendan said, I'm not doing enough to convince the board, I think the writing was on the wall for the transfer window when Brendan Rodgers did say that. And then when he said last night that he doesn't know what his transfer budget will be now. Brendan, you never knew what your transfer budget was going to be in the first place. So don't say you don't know what it is now because you're out of the Champions League. I'd drive him down myself just with the offer just for a wee run. I'd happily go to Celtic completely better than Adamida and Yang. I think there's a lot of folk. Which board member would you get rid of first? I would get them all standing out on the front step of Celtic Park, and then I'd be a sniper on the roof in the flats to the left hand side, and I would make sure that the bullet went through each one of their heads at the same time. I do not condone violence, and I'm not a sniper for the Ra. Just putting it out there. Fuck it. So yeah, I don't think that there's one in particular that I'd get rid of first. Although Nicholson would be a good start because he's just. I still think back. I think back to, let's reminisce over what's led us to this situation and how could it have went so bad. When we go back to when Ange Postecoglou came to Celtic after us losing the 10 in a row, and we had Dominic Mackay had left his post at running Scottish rugby, and he was from Edinburgh. He was a big Celtic fan, but he was a great businessman, and he had taken Scottish rugby and promoted it around the world, and he was fabulous, and all things was good. But he wasn't a yes man, and he came in and he sat with Ange and he talked about a new era at Celtic, looking at new markets for players, excited to be working with Ange Postecoglou about working in these new markets in Asia and how that could affect the business side of it, thinking about tours in Asia, tours in America, and how to grow the global brand of Celtic FC and take it to the next level organically, without having the need to be in the Champions League and all the rest of it. It's all about, there's more money out there that Celtic can attract. You don't need to be really focused on the 40 million for the Champions League, because although that's good, there's deals out there that we can be doing ourselves to make even more money, was the thinking and the promise. And it was fantastic. And all the fans got behind it. All the fans got behind this new beginning at Celtic Hunger Games. Oh Jesus, the Celtic Hunger Games for it's the board members that are running about the park. But anyway, getting back to the Dominic Mackay era, because it was short-lived, because he wasn't a yes man to the powers that be at Celtic, to them loyal to Pedro, and that was it. He wasn't the same. He didn't fit. He was an Edinburgh guy, for starters. He wasn't one of them. He wasn't. He wasn't one of the wee niche that Lowell and Co's got at Celtic. The family connections and everything. And I think when he left and Nicholson came in, the writing was on the wall then. The writing was definitely on the wall then. I mean, Ange got a good 2-year run. And then Ange, the beginning of the third year, Ange started questioning things, started questioning transfer policy. But we never thought nothing of it as fans. We thought nothing of it whatsoever because everything was good. We were winning football games. Do you know, we were going for trebles. Everything was fine. And then Ange had obviously had enough throughout the season. And then we always go to the picture of Ange, Dermot Desmond and his son in the front foyer of Celtic Park, in the reception area. And the look on their faces after the meeting where Ange was offered the plate of gold. There you're going to get offered more money than any Celtic manager's ever been offered to keep you at the club. But Ange was thinking, transfers. Do you know, when Ange came out and said there's no difference between spending 10 million on a player and selling him for 25 to 30 million compared to spending 2 million on a player and selling him for 10 to 15 million. It's all about the standard of the player. Ange knew that we needed to just up the level a bit if you wanted to go into the Champions League and you wanted to perform. And Ange said, nah, I'm going to go and talk to Spurs, mate. And he left. The cheap option was to bring in Brendan, who was taking a year sabbatical. Brendan Rodgers had left his employment. He had left his employment. He was sacked. And he was sitting in Palma, Mallorca, and he gets a call for his mate. Fancy coming back to Celtic. Just funnily enough, there's a couple of Celtic players on holiday next to you. Go and have lunch with Callum. And then we'll come over and see you. So he has a big long lunch with Callum McGregor, 2.5 hour lunch, a very Spanish lunch. 2.5 hours. And they talk about what's needed at Celtic. Dermot comes over, seals the deal. Brendan comes back. Gets a good bit of money to spend the first year. Everything's hunky-dory. We miss out. People aren't too enamoured with Brendan when he first comes back because first chance against Kilmarnock in the Premier Sports Cup, we get put out. We'd won the treble the year before. It was unthinkable getting put out in August. But Brendan Rodgers said, to those who think that I shouldn't be here, come back and see me in May. And he was true to his word. But Brendan Rodgers also said another thing, as did Michael Nicholson. When Rodgers came back, he said there was a grand plan that they had spoken about. This was the deal that got him back. The grand plan that Dermot and Nicholson had promised him. They'd promised him the forever land of the Champions League. They'd promised him riches of a bag of cans and a pot of cash. And it was, you're going to get money. You get us into the Champions League and we'll give you cash. On returning to Parkhead, Rodgers highlighted the importance of making an impact in the Champions League. Last year we did that. But when he came back, he spoke about the recruitment team being set up perfectly to work in markets that we needed to. But then in come Peter Lawwell's son to fuck it all up. Now there seems to be someone somewhere has to have an idea on where we're going with the identity of players or because it seems like we're just lowballing teams for offers. We're making inquiries about players, and gone are the days where under Ange we would get our players in really early. We've went backwards so far in 4 years. Now, on a financial term, the club's doing fine. And the club will say that, well, we were right not to spend money. Do you know? and they'll look at Brendan. You know, the heat's on Brendan. Brendan said, look, I need to prove to the club. Now, he's obviously got key performance indicators, good old KPIs. Let's fucking talk their level. And he missed out on one of them last year. He missed out on one of his big targets. It was the treble. So he didn't succeed. But Michael Nicholson got a big bonus last year. And with Brendan Rodgers not performing as an elite manager and not achieving his KPIs for him, he's turned around and said, well, do you know what? I need to show the board that I'm worthy of a new deal. Well, right now you're not worthy of a new deal. Because at first opportunity, once again, Brendan Rodgers had 3 opportunities last night to motivate the team. He had 3 opportunities. 4, really. He had before the game to motivate the team and get the players up and buzzing and really focused on what they had to do. This type of football that we were playing this time last year. One touch pass, don't think about it. Think that you're just on the training pitch. You know, don't think about your surroundings. Think that you're on this training pitch and play like you're on the training pitch. With that finesse, with the speed, with the smile on your face. But we never played like that last night. He had another opportunity at half time to invigorate the team, to motivate the team, to do what elite managers do, and it's get the best out of players. And he didn't do it at half time. You could say that we kind of did. He maybe got a reaction, you could say, but it was nowhere near what Celtic should be doing. For the fact that it took younger players from the Celtic staff to come on and shine, if you like. But Brendan Rodgers then had another opportunity to motivate the team, get them in the right frame of mind, get their motivation up. That's when we went into extra time, and he never done it then. Never done it at all. And then there was even the half time at extra time. He still couldn't do it. That's 4 occasions that the manager, an elite manager, had to just say one sentence to motivate this team, to get them to give 110%, to just get someone to just grab the game by the balls, and he couldn't do it. And even when we went to penalties, when we went to penalties, Brendan Rodgers has the team and they're all scattered round. And you look at the Kazakhstan team and they're in a huddle and the manager's in the middle, fucking shouting and roaring. It reminded me of a young Neil Lennon at Celtic when he was Celtic manager. When he was young and manager, he was enthusiastic and he wanted the best for Celtic, and he would fucking fight for every single player. Brendan Rodgers doesn't have that. He doesn't have it at all. I have no idea. I'm not even wanting to talk about managers because I think that the Celtic board will not get rid of Brendan. They'll not get rid of Brendan, and I think that we need to see how this season plays out. Fuck's sake, it's doom and gloom. It's not doom and gloom, it's just the reality. I'm just talking about the reality of what's happened over the last four and a bit years. Some people don't like reality. Bruges is 1-0. Time to go back onto the channel and fucking hit all the zombies. They've only been playing for 5 minutes. It's 1-0 already. Jesus. Anyway, in other Celtic news, Celtic have been linked with another left back, which I think is weird because we've got a left back coming in, and I just think it's a nonsense story. We have been linked with another left back, but I think it's nonsense because we've got one coming in for South America. We're not bringing in 2 left backs in this window. Anyway, in a bit of good news, a certain player has passed his medical ahead of a move to Celtic. Yep, a player that we've been after for such a long time completes his medical. Balwisha. Michelangelo finally passed his medical today, and he'll be up at Celtic Park tomorrow getting his pictures taken. Tomorrow being Thursday, which means Celtic will probably announce it at 5:30 on Friday. Yeah. When is the Europa draw again? What time is it? What time is the Europa draw? Anyway, let's jump into the comment section. 105 minutes roll on Sunday. The players played shit. Brendan didn't do much to get the team going, and the board fucked us by not bringing in anyone to replace the talent that we've lost. Low ball on push needs to stop. It does that, doesn't it? It's I mean, you can be good businessmen all you want, but going in and offering, I mean, it's like you're trying to sell a house and you're wanting 200 grand for the house, and you go in and say, "No, I'll give you 100 grand for it," but it's worth 220. I've got it on the market cheap because I'm wanting to do it quick. But still, I'll give you 100 grand for it. Nah, fuck off. Don't know. It's absolutely bonkers. It is bonkers the way that Celtic do it. Celtic missing one thing: captain. He doesn't get in the player. He doesn't get into the players for me. Cal Mack is never. He's never going to be the same kind of captain as Neil Lennon was, or Scott Brown. They were 2 very vocal guys and very opinionated on the pitch and loved going into battles. Callum McGregor's not that kind of captain, so I think that it was sooner that we realised that, you know, we don't have that kind of warrior captain in anyone in the club. There's no one in the club currently, and there's not going to be anyone for a long time. I think that Celtic are now going to go through a phase where there doesn't seem to be a direction for the signing policy. Do you know, there doesn't seem to be a succession plan in place. The succession plan was always that Cal Mack would be captain after Bruni retired, because he was the obvious choice of long-standing player, etc., etc. I don't think that we're ever going to replace Bruni as a player. I said last week I hope Brendan's mood didn't affect the squad. I think it has. Do the squad, there's a question. Got 250 votes on that poll. I'm going to end that poll. I'm going to start another one. The poll was, what we seen as success this season? Is it win the league and a run in the Europa, 42%, a treble, 42%, a Europa, 43%, a treble, 42%, and a double, 14%. Right. Yeah, I'm not staying on too late. Let me just say this. That's a double barrel question. Hi, Stephen Johnson. Bugger it, I'm not going to do another poll. People are dropping off to watch the football. Right, let's jump back into some of these comments. The players shit. Brendan didn't do much to get the team going. That one. About a month late with these new players. Yeah, definitely. Jamesy Boyd, definitely. I don't think that there's anybody that would say that getting players in... I mean, it's fine when you're walking... when you're walking into the Champions League straight off. It's fine then. Getting players in late in the window, because you know you're in the Champions League. But when you're not in the Champions League and you have a squad that has been diminished in quality since the new year, and not replacing that quality, you're going into a game, the most important game. I mean, even the commentators were saying, do you know, it's a £20 million shootout, this penalty. Daizen Maeda missing 2 sitters in both games. You're thinking, unbelievable. Friday, 12 o'clock, the draw. That is perfect. We'll be live then. If we play the way we're playing, we don't deserve to win anything. Never mind going 4 games fluke in Europa. Ian Roy, I am reading the comments. I'm reading them now. Just catching up. Who's sent off? Aaron's sent off? I take it, is that a zombie that's been sent off? I don't know, I don't care. It's a straight red for the zombie got. Oh God, that'll be them in Meltdown, won't it? And I'm not doing a Meltdown video tonight because I don't give a shit how bad they are. And to be honest, the Meltdown videos have an adverse effect on the channel, believe it or not. Might get some good views, but then it just has an adverse effect on the channel. Have a good night, guys. All this Sevgo talk has been turned and see you all tomorrow. Pubcat, don't go. Talk about something else. Yeah, there's too many folk talking about Sevco in the chat. No wonder I'm not reading the comments. Oh, right, that's it. Anyway, I'm done and dusted for the night. Paul Baird is in the house. Brendan can't leave Celtic with his head held high after last night. There's no spin that he can put on it. Nah, Paul, I'm agreeing with you. I think that it was all about getting to the end of this year, but if we were to have a good Europa run, he would spin it that way. But by a good Europa run, we need to get to last 8 minimum. We need to get to last 8 minimum in the Europa, because if we don't, it will be seen as a disaster. Anyway, right, that's me done and dusted for tonight. We always look on the bright side of life. Yes, we do that. We need to win Sunday, ease the pain a bit. Yeah, I think winning Sunday and that will make us all feel a little bit better. Anyway, I'm going to have a great weekend because my brother's coming over. Anyway, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.